death be not proud, for some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou not so.
Here we go! This night, you gotta find that nightmares do come true. We will find you. This night, you gotta find that.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror, Year 3. This is Day 18. I am Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. Grim Reaper is a second indie low-budget film that I picked up for massively cheap, and mostly for the cover. I do judge a film by its cover, as they say, judge a book by its cover. I tend to do that quite a bit, especially if the film is like under $5. You know, I love me some like toonie buys or dollar buys and stuff like that. So I thought I would throw this one into the pile as well. And again, we're dealing with not as low of a budget as yesterday's film, but still something on the low budget side for sure. And basically you have a Grim Reaper story with death following a group of young people who basically cheated it, and him, you can say. So synopsis-wise, this girl at the beginning who's an exotic dancer and has a boyfriend who she just gets off the phone with, and then she's involved in an accident where a car hits her in a parking lot, like outside of, I believe, where she was dancing for that night. And she ends up in the hospital, and then she ends up basically it's a dream sequence that happens at the beginning of the film. When she gets to the hospital, nobody has heard of her boyfriend, who apparently works at that hospital. They can't find a pulse on her, and yeah, the nurses and doctors are acting all sketchy, and then she wakes up in a bathtub, and it's another dream, and then she wakes up in a psych ward, and it basically follows her through the psych ward and her boyfriend named Liam, and her name is Rachel. Her boyfriend's name is Liam, and he's basically searching for his girlfriend Rachel, who went missing, and she's in the psych ward where she's kind of trying to figure out what's going on. Now, the main warden of the psych ward, in about the middle of the film, you learn that he basically faced death himself and made a deal with the Grim Reaper himself, in which if his life was spared, he would collect all the souls that basically death couldn't catch, or that basically cheated death in a sense, and he would bring them to this institution that was presumably closed in 1966, this mental asylum that's been closed for many years, and he brings all these lost souls or missing souls there to be collected by the Grim Reaper all at once. Now, you would think this story would go supernatural, but it doesn't, and that's where I was kind of like, this seems extremely silly to me. Just because everything is, and also the film is played out completely serious. There's no like cheesiness or humor to it. The film is cheesy, but it's all accidental. There's no self-awareness to it. It's played out completely like a serious horror movie. And for the themes and budgets and plot lines that it has going, it doesn't really fit. It's still entertaining, and the gore is actually really nice. The acting is pretty terrible, but you get some interesting characters here and there. And it was Lionsgate that produced this film, which they produce a shit ton of films. Directed by Michael Feifer, and I believe it was distributed by Maple, maybe? I'm not sure. No special features on this disc either. No special features on yesterday's also. But yeah, you basically just get your bare bones film. Again, it's fine for the price. I mean, I love picking up these like massively cheap deals and just checking them out. Some of them are absolutely horrendous. Some of them are actually a nice surprise. If I'm going to judge the two of them, yesterday's and today's, I probably liked yesterday's better, even with its lower budget. just because of the plot and how, like, what they did with it. It's all about what you do with a film. It has really nothing to do with how much it takes to make it or how much money you have to make it. It's really how you craft it at the end of the day. That's all that matters. And I'm not going to say this film is horrible because I did enjoy it, but it was super silly and just pretty ridiculous all throughout. Like, just shake your head, roll your eyes kind of thing, and it's like, oh, we're going here, we're going there. It's still fun. You know, as long as a film entertains me, I'm good with it. So, but yeah, that's Grim Reaper. I would land on it at probably, I'm gonna go 36 out of 100. Why out of 100? Because I hate decimals, and because outside of its ridiculously kind of dumb plot, it still entertained me and did its dues. So they made Death look pretty good. They made Death look creepy enough, and I liked the way his hood was formed and his shackle was or sickle, that's it, was the way it looked and everything. There's this really cool like church scene or cathedral scene kind of thing at the climax, where Death is kind of unrobed, but he honestly kind of looks like a mummy. It was weird in that way, but he's after the main girl, Rachel, and I won't say exactly what happens at the end. I'll just leave it at basically this insane asylum warden guy got his life back for collecting souls in real time. So, you know. But yeah, I think I didn't take too many notes on this one because it was a pretty straightforward film. But yeah, that's about it. So, not much to say about this one. I mean, other than what I already said, it starts, it finishes. It plays out kind of like a mystery, especially in the first act, but it starts to reveal a lot of its tropes along the way as it goes on. There is this girl named Katie in the film, who's definitely the hottest girl there is in the film. She plays this blind girl who's also in this insane asylum, waiting to be picked up by the Reaper, and she's apparently blind, but she's a terrible actress at acting blind because she literally like stares at everybody, and you can tell she can see them, and there's no twist. She literally is blind in the film. But yeah, like when she looks at people or when people talk to her, she's looking directly at them, even from the other side of the room. And it's like, bitch, you don't act blind very well. Let me just throw that out there. But anyways, that's going to be day 18. I've got some really cool stuff lined up, and I can't wait to check those out. But as for today, I'm just going to leave it at that. And until next time, I am Morgan Film Fan. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan and check out my Instagram as well if you'd like. And I will be back for more. So cheers and good night.